Hello and welcome. Angela Meiritz-Reid here, Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm making this card. It's for this week's global design project. We've got a sketch challenge. And all the products I've used are available at my online store and are listed in the description box below. I've also created a PDF tutorial and that's available via my blog, and I've popped a link in the description box below to my blog. So to get started, I've got just a plain white card base and I'm using the thicker cardstock, and then I've got two layers here that are really not much in it, just a couple of millimeters. I just like that little extra, so you can see it just sits on there. So that second layer is embossed or die cut with this stitch greenery die. So I'm just going to bring in my big machine. So hopefully it won't wobble too much. Because that's all, it doesn't matter if it's not straight. Quite often by the time you turn it over and pop it down, it can get a bit skew with. It's one of those dies that doesn't need to be straight. And then just roll that through there. It's a great die. Looks fabulous on any colour card. Sorry, it went flying. So there it is there. So next thing I'm going to do is adhere that to that layer there. So that's, oh actually no, take it back a step. I've got the DSP. I'm going to pop that on first, because then I can layer it up and trim it. So this DSP is here. It's the Country Gingham 6x6. It's got all these beautiful colours and patterns on it. So, really pretty. It's got balmy blue, mint macaron, petal pink and sweet sorbet. So lots of pretty colours in there. So I'm just going to pop some glue on the back of here. And this is 4 centimetres wide. So all the measurements are in the written tutorial. And I want it to be about 1 centimetre from the left hand side. So what I do is just line it up on my grid paper. And 2 lines is 1 centimetre. I line it up there. I can line up with there and down here. And then I'm just going to trim that piece off along there. And then this piece here is just going to be adhered with glue to that. Just a really tiny frame around that, just to give a wee buffer there. And then that layer is going to be adhered to the card base with dimensionals. So get those nice and evenly spread out. That's well covered. Get those backs off. And then that just gets popped straight on the front there. That's good to go. While I'm here, I'll just do the insert. Often for an insert I just if there's got a bit of DSP that I'm using a coordinate with the front. Just add a bit of glue to that. Pop that along the bottom. Could also, if you had an extra flower or two, pop that inside as well. And maybe a coordinating sentiment. I just tend to leave them blank inside. And then just put a bit of Stampin' Seal in each corner and then tuck that in. So just simple, but just gives it a nice wee touch. And then just to make sure that's adheres nice and evenly, I'm just going to put that big block over that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is stamp the flowers and the leaves. So I've got, these are from the Love You stamp set. And I'm using Parakeet Party. So I just want to stamp that. Main leaf there. And then I'm just stamping again over top, so you will see the different depth of colour because of where it's gone over it again. I'm just going to, sorry if you see my head, just got to get right in there and over the top. Just do this one again. It really does need to be, you need to be sort of right over it to get it well placed, I find. There's the leaves, and then the flower. I've already gone ahead and cut some, so I just need one of these. I'll just give that a good stamp up, pop that on here, and then same thing, I'm going to try to stand up and get that. Stand up, sorry. There. And pop that away closed before I land on it. And then I'll bring in my die cutting machine. Just pop that out of the way for the minute. And over there, and the flower next. Okay, it's in a good spot, and then hopefully it won't move. See enough pops it has. I think it's because my plate is a little bowed. I might just move it up here a little bit more. I did read about somebody putting it in the oven, so I might give that a go. So just run that through for the best. Out of the way now, crashing it everywhere, and then I'll bring in the ones I've already done, 3 of those and 2 of the leaves. And for the flowers, I've just popped dimensional in the middle of each of those, and the leaves I just did a half just on that bigger side. They don't need too much sticking down. And I'll bring this back in. So this one here, I've got that sort of about here, and one, this one here, tucked in about here, and this one tucked in about there. And then the leaves just tucked in. So when you don't glue to the edge, you have got that ability to tuck things in without them getting caught on other bits and, you know, adhesives underneath. And that one there. Then I've got some linen thread, and I'm going to create this double bow. So I've just got my tail out there. Do a loop here, another one. If you didn't want to do a double, you know, this is a bit daunting for you to do tie the double bow, you could, because it's just slipping under here, you could just do two single bows to get the same effect. And just, so I've just wound that around there, and then taking this end, pull it up through there. I put my fingers in there just to give it, and then tighten up. It's a bit long, so I'll just trim off a bit. And then you can play around with it then for how you want it to look. And then a glue dot works really well. Grab a glue dot. And then I'm just going to tuck that in under here. See, because there's plenty of room under there. Tuck that in there. I quite like the tail to be at the back behind the loop, so down there. And then that tail's not, I'll just grab that under there. They often have a mind of their own anyway, don't they? Right, and then I want to do the sentiment. So the sentiment is Happy Birthday, and it's from the Something Fancy stamp set here. And I've got black cardstock and Versamark and just my embossing buddy. Give that a bit of a dousing with that, and stamp that. Give that a good firm press. So I really want a nice white embossed sentiment. Sometimes going over it a couple of times, it just sticks in areas that I didn't quite got to before. So I just use my heat tool and emboss that. And then if you have got a die that you like to use that will fit that, use that. But I'm just going to use my little mini trimmer and just trim that reasonably close. Because the flowers are so pretty, I didn't want to cover too much of them up. Slightly bigger, just trim it down a wee bit more. It's the beauty of these kind of trimmers with Stampin' Up would bring them back in, because it's, you can see that I trimmed that tiny little piece off, so which is brilliant to be able to do that. Right, so I think that's a little bit better. So I'm going to pop that about there. And then I'm just going to use the mini dimensionals. They work perfectly for behind something like this. And I'm going to put more dimensionals on here. So I'm just going to put a couple down here. And down here, this is the end that's going to pop out over here. So I just want a double layer. Just going to pop one on top of the other. Take these off. So you can see, hopefully there's two there and just a single layer there. Just take that straight up there and pop that across there. Hopefully that's nice and straight. And then I've got these gorgeous, these are in the new catalogue, these are the iridescent pastel gems. And it's Calypso Coral, Balmy Blue, and this is gold, but it's quite neutral really, whitish, so works really well on most things. So I'm just going to take 3 of those and pop them in the middle. There is a stamp that works for that, but I thought I didn't really want to bring in another colour, so I thought using those gems worked really well. And then I've just got 3 of the Balmy Blue ones just to bring that colour in a little bit more. And that is my card created. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you on my channel. And thanks again, and see you next week. Bye for now.